man sama bopp sax maa ngi ñaxa waaye ñu ngi dem fële Safuri seen fur bi ñu bàyyi xel liggéey bi naka la moo mel foofu moom tamit.
Turning the educational system around was the most daunting challenge, in the sense that when I talked about the university, I think this was the stadium when I said, for the Gambian people, for education, the sky would be the limit. Everyone, oh, who is this little soldier? This boy is just adventurous. And nobody took us seriously.
Produced 340 units. It says that the premium bonus is 75% of time.
You know, fish is reddish. Yes. And chicken too is reddish. Yes. Now, how do you do the three? How do you do the three? You have chicken, you have fish, and you have vegetable.
The Gambian education system is a model in the region. And people are beginning to come to see how we are doing it. And I want to say that it's all about teamwork and the political commitment that we have, as education is a high priority for the government of the day.
The Gambia's education system has experienced tremendous transformation in recent years in response to emerging needs and changing circumstances. The current policy strategy devised by the government emphasizes access, quality, and relevance. It encompasses the broader objectives of gender equity, targeting poor and disadvantaged groups, cultural diversity, as well as science, mathematics, and technology.
Since 1994, the education system in this country has seen great transformation, and a lot of efforts have been put in to make sure that we are where we are today. And the priority is to make sure that we make education accessible to every child, make the education system relevant to the needs of this country and the citizenry, and also to make sure that the education we provide is of quality. So there are three core things that the education system is looking at as pronounced in our education policy, and that is access, relevance, and quality.
Increased public expenditure on education has led to marked improvements in overall national enrollment figures, which continue to grow steadily. This is more pronounced among girls who had previously suffered exclusion engendered by traditional beliefs and practices. But the Gambia has been able to minimize the factors against girls' education, especially in retaining young female students.
I am a beneficiary of His Excellency the President, Empowerment for Girls' Education. My IT and web design course was paid for. It reduced the burden on my family, so I'm grateful to the President.
There is a national policy ensuring the provision of free education for girls, supported by a vibrant presidential initiative known as the President's Empowerment for Girls Education Project. These efforts are being reinforced by the Education Department and charities such as the Jami Foundation for Peace by providing scholarships to students from poor families.
In terms of gender equality, we have attained gender parity at the basic level, that is the primary and the upper basic level. And what made that possible is the establishment of the President's Empowerment of Girls Education Project under the Office of the President, and also the establishment of the Girls Education Trust Fund, which got initiated indeed by His Excellency the President too. And we have the Angels Trust Fund. So these trust funds, as well as the Jammeh Foundation for Peace Scholarship Program, and indeed other agencies that provide scholarships to girls in this country, have made it possible for more girls to come into the system, and that is how we attain gender parity at that level.
A conducive learning environment for girls in the country is also built upon a strategy to create girl-friendly school systems which encourage the recruitment and deployment of female teachers, especially among poor rural communities.
You cannot talk about quality in the absence of the qualified teachers. And what we have been able to do is to make sure that we provide incentives for teachers to make sure that those teachers that are qualified, all of them don't stay here in the urban area. The way we have ensured that they go up country is for us to create incentive packages like housing for teachers, as well as allowances for those that go up country. So if you go to the remotest parts of this country, you enjoy an allowance of up to 40% of your salary. That is helping us take qualified teachers from the urban area to go to the rural areas.
This is Sabali's dream house. This is the kind of house where Sabali want to live in. And Sabali, what's the concept of this house? You have not finished your work yet? Okay.
The attainment of basic and secondary education by every Gambian child remains a priority for the government, which has taken a more active role in early childhood development. It is all geared towards enabling children to learn, communicate, and develop with the necessary support and guidance. An unprecedented number of daycare centers and nursery schools operate in the country, monitored and assessed by education authorities.
Prior to 1994, there were limited numbers of primary and upper basic schools, and as well as secondary schools. I can even say that prior to 1994, we had only 2 government schools. That's Amite School and Gambia Senior Secondary School. To date, we can boast of, in terms of secondary schools, about 44 public schools. And that does not include the schools being run by the private sector. And if you add that, what the private sector is doing to the public schools, you're talking about over 80 schools in this country in terms of secondary schools. In terms of primary and upper basic schools, you're talking about over 400 schools in this country to date, from 1994 to date.
We have 6 bananas. 1 banana. 1 banana. 4 bananas. 5 bananas.
The Gambia follows the 9-3-4 system, which begins at the lower basic level and targets a minimum school career of 9 uninterrupted years for every child. This level is considered the ground layer of the country's educational foundation.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hands together for her. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Being a predominantly Muslim society, the Gambia has a sizable number of Arabic-speaking schools, known as madrasas, operating alongside English-speaking schools.